So perhaps you could tell us a bit more about what's brought you down here and what you've been speaking about so far.
Well, operation, I work for the Coast Guard. That's a maritime organization. We're interested in how these kind of capabilities can be used better in our many mission sets that we have. And we're also looking at a concept called Collaboration in Space for International Global Maritime Awareness, C-Sigma, that we have been generating a good bit of discussion about over the last couple of years, is how we can implement a global maritime awareness system.
And how is that coming along? Because I know it's been a big talking point for a lot of people.
Yes, indeed. The technology, I think, is in hand. We've had half a dozen different tests from various people. The European Union ran some tests. We've run some tests. Various companies such as EGIOS and KSAT have various runs, tests. We believe we have the technology well in hand. We need to figure out how to move this forward on the global stage, because the maritime problem is a global problem. The United States fully recognizes that we cannot do that by ourselves. We need to collaborate.
In many ways, it's the maritime that ties up the land, but without that maritime, the enormous piece of the puzzle, there's no way you can really say, well, here's what's going on in one part of the world and how it connects, particularly when it comes to things like counterterrorism.
Well, counterterrorism, environmental protection. Matter of fact, there's disaster relief.
Of course, yeah.
Human assistance, disaster relief. I believe you need to add EP onto it. HADR is the term. It's HADR-EP, environmental protection. That's one of the things that our disaster in Deepwater Horizon in the Gulf of Mexico taught us, is that we didn't really have a good handle on how to bring this kind of capability to bear on that problem, which is highly pertinent. We finally got it done about the time the program went away, and we've let that atrophy again. We need to figure out how to build that again. And technology is moving so fastly forward, we need to stay on top of it. That's kind of my job. I'm kind of the techno scout for the Coast Guard in a lot of ways.
So what are they bringing to the table, the Coast Guard?
Well, they bring together a highly efficient, highly trained, highly motivated task force of really experts in many different areas. I was a Navy guy for many years, but I'm really impressed with the quality of the people I work with in the Coast Guard. They're really, but their technology is not leading edge, and they recognize it needs to be.
So how far do you think, or how long do you think it'll be before they've caught up with, well, at least what is available now?
I was just to say, it's a moving train.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you have people like me out there trying to figure out which way to point the train.
Because this has been one of the big talking points, I think, throughout the whole show, is that the technology is there, and it's much more to do with the people skills, how we take that technology, how we use it, how we apply it, and how we bring it all together.
Oh, absolutely. And that's, you may have heard me several times mention, don't forget the maritime domain, don't forget law enforcement, and HADR-EP, those are unclassified systems. You've heard me kick several people in the shin, I think, about, you guys are talking about a war, and that's certainly a valid thing to take about, but don't put it behind the black door. If you put it behind the black door, it can't be used by your disaster relief people, your NGOs.
So is maritime geospatial intelligence one of the, or recognition, sorry, of maritime spatial intelligence, is that an issue?
Not really an issue. I think that it's more a, let me see if I can couch this a little bit better. It's not an intelligence situation so much as what's out there, and how do we task it? How do we use it? How do we get our accesses to it? And you certainly have civil rights. You have people's privacy that you need to respect at the same time. And so we have those issues as well.
And how close are we to get into resolving them? Do you think we'll ever resolve them?
I think it's a moving train. You know, we're going to stay, I'm probably going to stay, and my children are going to stay invested in this, working on this forever and ever. But it's a very worthy project. It's certainly something that many of us are deeply engaged in, and I'm proud to be part of it, actually.
That's marvelous. So what would you say then are the real key challenges to the true interoperability that we're trying to achieve?
Political will in this restrained and budget environment. If we had a wide open budget environment, this would have been solved already, but where does it fall? People do not believe, I believe, that there's the threats out there that I personally do, from counter-narcotics problems that I've mentioned a couple of times, smuggling of all sorts, human contraband, pollution, There are people that pollute our oceans right today and need to be detected more forcefully.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for joining me today and speaking with us.
Well, thank you. Enjoyed it.
I'm going to give you a bit more time now to go and fly the flag for maritime intelligence.
Great. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Maritime.
Cheers.